Former President Mahama has cancelled the Speak Out tour across the country in response to the ban on public gatherings by government. He said it is time for the nation to unite to fight the common enemy, disclosing that his former appointees who are knowledgeable about dealing with Ebola are willing to work with the Akufo-Addo government on the coronavirus.
We can all see the evidence from other countries, China, Iran, Italy, Spain and others, about how significant it is. It's a global pandemic, and experts say it is likely to infect very large. Most will only suffer mild symptoms, but sadly the virus is especially dangerous for the elderly and those with existing health problems. As a response to the threat, acknowledge the challenge faced by all those in charge of our public health who have to take on the responsibility of dealing with this crisis appropriately. Include limiting travel, cancelling public gatherings, enhanced hygiene procedures, the use of hand sanitizers, soap and running water, and following the prescribed social distancing measures. This advice and to lead by example, I have temporarily suspended my Speak Out tour across the country while we review procedures and put in place measures to minimize any risk of transmission during this period. We will keep the regions updated on any new developments. The virus outbreak is a national issue, and my party and I will play our role in supporting national efforts to mitigate the threats and to support our people through this crisis. But let's face the facts. Our public health care sector is already under strain, and the coming weeks and months are going to be challenging. I call on the government to make every necessary investment now to support their efforts. We need to ensure a supply of medical equipment such as ventilators for treatment of the vulnerable, and most especially protective. We need a plan for the testing of the many thousands of people who will be turning to the healthcare system for help. I call on the government to publish a comprehensive plan on how it intends to deal with this emergency around the country. Furthermore, I give my word to the people of Ghana that as the minority and the voice of the voiceless, we will hold the government to account on these issues. We will be supportive of the measures and actions being taken by government, while remaining vigilant in ensuring that the public is adequately protected. This is not a time for words, it is a time for action. What the government
A total of 365 residents at Ahamensu, Mimpasem and Titiaka, all in the KJB district in the Oti region, have been rendered homeless after a rainstorm hit these areas last Wednesday. According to official figures from the district's NADMO office in KJB, 300 people with 65 households, 91 families and 144 dependents were affected by the rainstorm. Victims over the past days have had to put up with other family and community members or in open spaces in uncompleted buildings. Victims are yet to receive any support from NADMO in the district. Correspondent Peter Senu visited the communities and has been interacting with victims.
The hardest hit area is the Ahamensu and Papasi zone. Most houses in this area were grounded completely. Victims have had to dry up soaked belongings in the open when Joy News visited the community. This aged woman was in her room when the disaster struck. She's only appealing for support so she could live a normal life.
She said what she said now, she have nothing to do, but only she have to say it. They want the government to help them. She don't have anything, so she need the help from the government.
Some families were also busily reconstructing their homes. Not even this good was spared by the disaster. Victims have been sharing their frustrations with Joy News. Some of our children slept in town because of the disaster. The rest of us slept in this room.
And
we ran into the room when the storm started. One of my children told me the storm was lifting our roof. Before we realized, the ceiling caved in on us. We slept in this uncompleted building. All our properties are damaged, so we need help. All our belongings are soaked up with water. People had to admit our little children into their homes. We need help. A flying roofing sheet also hit this boy in the legs. The assembly member for the area, Haruna Ibrahim, is also appealing for quick response from officials to the victims.
The animal people came here, they came and take the information, but nothing happened. They don't even say anything. So what I'm pleading with the government, all the opinion leaders, to help the old ladies in my electoral area because they are suffering. They have nothing to do apart from they want the government to help them.
Joy News sources say there are no relief items in stock to give victims as of the time of filing this report. Officials have either declined comment or have not been available for comment on the disaster. Peter Sanu for Joy News.
A member of parliament for Echima Kwauma in the Ashanti region is calling for prosecution of persons involved in the 2018 deadly shooting at Fuase. Dr. Kojo Apiakubi also wants the compensation issue revisited as he faults police for poor handling of a demonstration. 4 people were killed when police opened fire on angry residents protesting the relocation of the district capital from Fuase to nearby Twedie. Ohimin Teria of our security desk has more.
In February 2018, police were called to disperse routing youth protesting relocation of Achoma Kwauma district capital from Fuase to Twedie. The armed security personnel reportedly opened fire, resulting in casualties. A report by an investigative committee was not made public except for its recommendation, including compensation. Another committee was set up to implement the recommendations after overseeing burial of the deceased and payment of medical and funeral costs. Deputy Minister for Local Government, Kwesi Boateng J, speaks for the implementation committee.
Then administratively we're supposed to ensure that the decision of the Supreme Court was implemented. So the district capital had to be moved from Fuase to Twedie. That has been done. The recommendation was that we should position the district administration headquarters in such a way that it would serve the two communities. So that's been done. Then there was something else that we were charged to do, to see to some compensatory project for Fuase. That is something that we are working on. And then finally, to follow up on the other aspects as to what happened and if there was any blame to be placed somewhere.
On Tuesday, 3 of the 4 families, as well as the wounded victims, selected representatives to receive the amount on their behalf. Witnesses were also on hand to observe the presentation of the money to be shared between nuclear and extended families. A surviving wife and children got 150,000 cedis. Late last year, families of 7 residents of Zongo who were shot at Manson Kwanta also received similar compensation from government. Mr. Boateng will not blame police for the incident, but urges caution by both security agencies and the public.
Sometimes some of these things are avoidable. And so when we have a situation like this, the advice we have to give is to go to all of us, including the security personnel, that they should allow professionalism to play a role in handling some of these situations. Then we also advise the general public to allow the law to work.
Family members of victims who received the checks for the amount spoke to Joy News. The individual is dead. There is nothing we can do about it. This is what the government has given us, and we are grateful. The money is not enough. Our brother has been responsible for our parents. Today, he's no more. This is what government has done for us. We think it's not enough, but we can't do anything. From Kumasi for Joy News, Nana Aljima reporting.
I am Daniel Dazi. This is Joy News Today. More on the coronavirus in business because Anglo Gold Ashanti is asking non-essential staff to work from home after an employee tests positive for coronavirus. Stay with us as Daryl Kwao brings us all those details right after this.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Anglo Gold Ashanti is asking non-essential staff to work from home and to further notice about plans to continue production at the Obuasi mine. Anglo Gold Ashanti Ghana yesterday confirmed an employee at this Obuasi gold mine had tested positive. The employee, according to a statement from the mining giant, is a Ghanaian who lives in the mine's accommodation and recently returned from a UK trip. Joining me with more is my colleague Norvan Aquahayford. Norvan, tell us more about the future for Anglo Gold Ashanti after one of his workers tested positive for the virus.
Darryl, what is happening is that the company has made it very clear that when it comes to the redevelopment and the underground mining, work will go on as usual. What they have done is that the contact tracing has been done. All the people involved in this particular case or had contact with the gentleman in question have also been quarantined, and so I mean, some monitoring is going on, serious monitoring, because they are doing this in conjunction with the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health and the very people that government has put in place to monitor such situations.
But for now, production is still ongoing at the Obuasi mine. What do they say about that?
Okay, so what is happening, as I told you, underground mining and redevelopment is still ongoing. When they talk about essential staff, it has to do with administrative and some other staff, those who are not supposed to go underground. These people have been asked to stay in their bungalows or stay in their homes in town until further notice. They are monitoring the situation. They will want to see what will happen after, the contact tracing and all the things that they are doing.
But some of the workers are worried. So, for instance, the Ghana Mine Workers Union is calling for a travel ban of some sort.
Yeah, so clearly what the mining or Ghana Mine Workers Union were saying is that when you talk of travel, not only for Anglo Gold Ashanti, now if you look at some other mining firms, they have about 2 or 3 operations. Even Anglo Gold has 2 operations, one in Takwa, one in Accra. So they're just not looking at people who are flying in from outside Ghana, but even travel within or in country. They think that there should be a ban on it. If there are people who need to have some kind of meetings from, let's say, the Obuasi mine and Takwa mine, they should use video conferencing to do those things. So for now, any sort of traveling, according to the union, that should be stopped. But they have also called for calm, among the workers. They said that they are also monitoring the situation. They are working hand in hand with the authorities at Anglo Gold Ashanti and all other mining companies, ensuring that things are done properly. If there is any challenge or if there is any way that they have to say nobody should go to work, why not? They won't hesitate to do that. For now, they think that whatever measures that has been put in place are good. And they agree with it and they are monitoring the situation.
And it's important we highlight this issue because the mining sector brings income to us, especially when it comes to gold.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can see what is happening even on the market in terms of gold. Now, the coronavirus, in a way, has almost become a good thing for those
because I was hearing that investors were now putting their monies into gold.
Yeah, that's what is happening right now. So you have investors, because if you look at the gold prices as of now, whilst crude oil is falling, gold prices are going up. So in any way, that's also good for the mining sector in this country. And even for us as a nation in terms of the royalties and everything that we'll get at the end of the year.
Okay, we'll be keeping our eyes on that, but we're also keeping our eyes on travel. As we know it, the government announced a travel advisory yesterday, and we're getting information that the airlines here are not really prepared for this because it was short notice. People had bought tickets and all of that. But let's look at the impact on aviation globally. What we're hearing, how airlines have had to make adjustments so that they will survive.
Yeah, if you look at this, let's even look at it from the side of the Ghana Airport Company itself. Terminal 3, we took a loan to build that, and we have projected revenues in terms of people using our airport, passengers and airlines which are London, using the Kotoka International Airport and all that. Obviously, there's going to be an impact on these revenues. If you talk to the industry players, they make you understand that whilst your passenger numbers are dropping and you're not getting the frequent flights that come in as it is, your projections are going to change, and that would also be a challenge for us as a country.
Wow. Northern Akohefo, thanks very much indeed. There's more on this and other stories related to the coronavirus outbreak and how we are trying to contain it, especially the impact also on our economy. Coming up on the marketplace, that's in about 20 minutes right here on Joy News. That's it for business. Stay with us. Up next is sports on News Today.
Thank you very much for staying here with us on Joy News Today. Let's go to our first story here on the Sports Bulletin. And the Ghana Premier League and all other football competitions in the country have been put on hold following government's ban on public gatherings for the next 4 weeks due to the coronavirus outbreak. President Akufo-Addo, in a national address last night, banned all public gatherings as part of measures to curb the spread of the disease. The GFA released a statement shortly after the directive. Now here are some excerpts.
In a statement released last week, the GFA announced that while our competitions will go ahead as scheduled, it will continue to liaise with government, the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health, and allow all national health protocols on the matter. The government of Ghana announced new protocols on Sunday, and consequently, the GFA will immediately follow the new issued protocols and guidelines. The association will continue to engage the relevant institutions on this matter and update its members and all stakeholders of any changes.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Let's go to our next story. And meanwhile, a member of CAF's medical team, Dr. Prince Pambo, has told Joy Sports that local football clubs are not in the position to deal with the coronavirus. Now, he was speaking on last Saturday's Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM.
In terms of preparedness at the local scene as far as football is concerned, club levels, I do not even see it. Nat, you agree with me? Less than 10% of even the clubs we have in the country have competent medical teams. Two, I do not think we have more than 2 clubs in this country with a qualified doctor attached to them as their team doctor. Most of them, I sit in a class sports stadium, I watch them come. Hardly, I've seen big clubs, Kotoko, Hearts come to play, and there is no doctor on their bench. They probably will have a couple of nurses and mazes on them. But I can tell you, there are a few times some doctors will show up when the matches are big, but they come on their own. They are not club doctors. So I don't think it's the best of situation as far as our medical issues are concerned.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News. Now, the prices of hand sanitizers have increased rapidly in the wake of the current coronavirus scare, as some sanitizers are selling as high as 150 Ghana cedi per bottle. This has generated uproar among most Ghanaians. According to them, it is wicked on the part of the vendors to cash in on the pandemic. Rapper Manifest is the latest to join the fight.
The first thing is panic is not a solution. I think precaution is. So it's important that you take precaution in these times. And the second thing is, what precautions are we talking about? You have to know what precautions we are talking about. You have to know about the good hygiene things. People are buying hand sanitizers that are less than 70% of alcohol in it, and that is not functioning. That's hand gel and things that don't have the right percentage of alcohol, for instance, are not really going to be effective. It essentially becomes something that you use to make your hands smell nice. Social distance is important. It's better to take more precaution now in the short term and experience whatever discomforts to help solve a problem. The third thing is, I think you have to use your conscience a little bit and really not try to take advantage of this situation, but prioritize health over profit. I hear people are selling hand sanitizers at exorbitant prices. Now, imagine this: if you make all the profits in the world and you're not living to enjoy it, it's a waste of time. It is protection for yourself and people around you, because when you have a pandemic such as this, it's not just about yourself, it's about the environment. So, I mean, this is just a short word of encouragement. Me, I'm looking at it from the personal point of view. I'm not a policymaker. What is more important is how we conduct ourselves. And I thought I had to share this because every time I come on social media, there's quite a bit of frenzy. And I think it's important that amidst the frenzy and the panic, we really look at proactive solutions. And I just wanted to share this word of encouragement, and much love to you and yours.
Meanwhile, Ghanaian actress Martha Nkuma has asked Ghanaians not to panic about the COVID-19 pandemic. In a video she posted after church service Sunday, she said God will take care of Ghanaians and Christians for that matter. She also gave some education on what to do and not to do.
I know there's so much fear and panic in the system, you know, because of coronavirus. But I just want to tell you today that, listen, we are Christians, and as children of God, we are not made with a spirit of fear. The Bible says it's a sin to fear. We are made with a spirit of boldness. In Christ Jesus, we are more than conquerors. So let's have that faith. Let's take the fear and panic out of our lives, out of the system. Fear is not in our DNA as Christians. Let's believe in God. The God who's taking care of us all this while right from childhood will protect us and preserve us. Psalm 91 is our portion. Know that and believe that. But in all this, let's still keep the safety measures seriously anyway. Wash your hands under running water with soap frequently. Use hand sanitizers. Take a lot of bath. And anytime you are sneezing or coughing, use a tissue. And most importantly, exercise well, drink a lot of water, and eat well. Coronavirus is not our portion. We are more than conquerors. Love you.
Now, actress Gloria Safo has won the Best Supporting Actress Award at the 2020 Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards. She was nominated for her role in Shirley Frimpong Mansour's Perfect Picture 10 years later.
It's all about the excitement, you know. I just can't wait to be there to actually grab that award and bring to Ghana. So preparations are going fine.
That was a hopeful Gloria weeks ahead of the awards. Gloria Safo was the only Ghanaian nominated for this year's Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards after fellow actress Lydia Forsing won in the same category in 2018. The actress beat Nigeria's Toni Tones, Echoria Enwobi, Tina Mba, Mary Lazarus to win the award. According to her, the nominations meant the hard work she put to execute that role was appreciated. However, because of the outbreak of the coronavirus, Gloria Safo was unable to travel to Nigeria to receive the award. Congratulations. Congratulations to Gloria Safo. You deserve it, and we're all proud of you.
Some good news over the weekend, and in the midst of all of this coronavirus updates, it was good to hear. And I saw those pictures of her when she first heard she received the award.
She was actually watching from home because of the coronavirus outbreak.
Yeah, so she couldn't travel and go.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's big. This corona thing, though, Becky.
I'm scared, Daniel, but I'm hopeful.
Yes, be hopeful. Don't be scared, though. Just be careful. Basically, just keep washing your hands, sanitizing your hands, social distancing, practice social distancing.
Like we're doing right now.
Like we're doing right now, you know. All right, then that's it for this bulletin of Joy News today. My name is Daniel Dazi. Becky brought a showbiz, and
for more news, log on to myjoyonline.com.
Up next is The Marketplace with Emmanuel Abwajiriafi. Have a good day.